And now it's time for The Catch, which takes you around the Great Lakes to hear from reporters about the issues they're covering. In this episode, we'll hear from Northwestern University student journalists about more of the stories in the project Poisonous Ponds, Tackling a Toxic Legacy.
In Chicago, recent Medill journalism grad Diana Lean is one of several students who worked on a story that provides a national overview of the complications around coal ash regulation.
Coal ash has been produced during the coal burning process for many, many decades at the coal plants in the country, and it's been disposed of in the ground. Some of it has been scattered along land around the sites. For many years, there were little to no regulations or oversight. And that changed in 2015 when the EPA did establish some coal ash regulations.
The 2015 federal rule applies to existing and new coal ash sites, but it exempts landfills that have already closed.
So at the moment, there's a lot of coal ash in the ground that previously wasn't subject to regulations, still potentially might not be subject to regulations if it's some of that legacy ash, which is kind of up in the air regulatorily speaking. And companies' sites don't want to have to excavate all of this coal ash or undertake these massive cleanup efforts that cost a lot of money.
And while this ash sits in more than 700 impoundment lots around the country, there's a risk that the toxins will leach into groundwater, potentially impacting nearby residents' private wells, along with municipal water systems.
The EPA has indicated that they're going to take a more active approach going forward with the sites that are regulated under their current rules. And they indicated this in January when they released some denials of some extension requests from sites for when they would have to stop adding coal ash to unlined impoundments. So that was one of their first steps. And then on the state level, their own environmental agencies are approaching the coal ash issue in very different ways.
And this is where state and local watchdogs and community groups have been playing an important role.
And in certain cases as well, they've helped form new regulations that happened, for example, in Illinois, where environmental groups and residents gave input on new coal ash rules that came into effect in the state in 2021.
Other states with their own coal ash regulations include North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia, where there are existing requirements to excavate unlined impoundments of coal ash.
Then on the other hand, there's states such as Indiana, where they're really just going to meet federal regulations, and that seems to be it for the time being. So it's a bit all over the place and a bit of a question, but there should be some action on the front within the next months and years.
At Great Lakes Now, we aim to cover the Great Lakes region and the people who live here, like you. Please follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and sign up for our newsletter at greatlakesnow.org.